Niagara Kung Fu Academy is doing their part to help out Toolbox Project Niagara, a nonprofit organization that provides homeless men and women with a care package during the holiday season. Here to tell us more is Sifu Rob Adalik. Rob, you are hosting the Swords for Socks again, and it's such a great cause. Why don't you tell us, what is Toolbox Project Niagara and why is it so important to the Niagara Kung Fu Academy?
So Toolbox, like you said, they provide care packages to the unhoused, and what attracted us to the the project was the man who started it. James from Toolbox was an inspiration for us because leadership is a big part of what we want to develop in our students, and we saw him as a perfect example as a good leader who had passion and saw a need, and didn't overanalyze it and just launched it and got his hands right into it and has made a big impact. And that's kind of the what we want to have shown to our students, what we want our students to emulate as well.
And so specifically, what is Swords for Socks?
So Swords for Socks is a fun way to kind of bring awareness to what James is doing, but also help out in a practical way too. So anyone who brings either unpackaged underwear, socks, or deodorant, any of the toiletries that would help these care packages, if they bring an item on that day, we will invite them to join us for our Swords seminar. We teach them basic sword techniques, and if someone joined us last time, we'll add on a little bit more to that to make it more exciting for them. So it'd also be a good idea for them to come back for a second time as well and join in on the program.
Okay, I know we're going to get into that and you're going to show me some moves, but before we do that, do you need to have any kind of martial arts background at all to attend?
Absolutely not. No, everything is done at a good pace, and we're going to warm up and do everything very safe. Last time we did it, we had some local politicians come out who are not martial artists. I think we had our MP, Tony Baldinelli, came out and joined us, and Bob Gale and some regional councillors. They didn't have any experience at all, and by the end of it, they learned how to swing a sword. They even earned their white belt as well. So
wow.
We're hoping we'll see them again, but no, there's no experiences necessary.
Okay, so, and what kind of sword will you be using? So I'm seeing here a wooden type sword, which makes me a little less worried.
Yeah, we won't
for my own abilities here.
We won't be pulling out any metal swords,
okay.
But the traditional Chinese saber is what the movements are teaching, but we'll use these bokin. This is a kind of a wooden practice sword that you still have to have a degree of safety using it because it'll hurt if you're swinging it around improperly. So we'll teach that safety, and it's also just a fun way to to teach those sword movements in a safe environment.
And so, maybe just tell us a little bit more about what we can expect, and what was the reaction from those who were there last time?
They loved it. So what we can expect is that we'll teach some basic strikes. We'll also put in a lot of the Kung Fu philosophy to it as well. So we'll teach them, different ideas of focusing the mind and focusing the body and finding yourself center and learning how to breathe properly to relieve stress and help us, focus with clarity. That's all intertwined with the motions. And then of course we'll be practicing the motions, hitting some different fun targets and things like that.
Okay, so I'm also seeing that you've been using the hashtag #compassion. So what does that mean?
So in our leadership training program, every couple of months we have an important segment that we're teaching our students on the path to earning their black belt. One month, a couple months we might be working on accountability. Another month we might be working on courage. And it just so happens that right now we are focused on compassion for the month of November and December. It's the perfect time to teach our students about compassion and practical ways of expressing compassion, and this is one of them.
I love this. And where can people find some more information?
So they can go to our website, niagaracungfu.ca, and there is information. If they click on events at the top of the website, they'll see information there, and they can even RSVP to the event there so we know they're coming and we can be ready for them.
So why don't you just give us a little bit of information in terms of, what are the physical and mental benefits of Kung Fu?
So we teach what we like to call holistic Kung Fu, meaning that, yeah, you're getting in shape and you're improving your flexibility and your balance, but you're also bringing in a universal philosophy that can help you live a better, healthier lifestyle, right? Overcoming stress is a big one, building up your confidence and building up your self-discipline in ways you can do so, it improves the way we operate at home, at school, and our job, in all different areas of life. If we're doing Kung Fu right, it should have a positive effect on all areas of life.
Okay, so without further ado, let's get up and why don't you show me exactly what it is that you will be teaching.
And this is also a great example of what we mean by the holistic Kung Fu philosophy. So first of all, you see that little notch right there? We want to put our right hand right below that notch, like that. And we want to put our left hand below, as low as possible, like that. So there's as much space in between our hands as possible without losing control of the sword, right? Now this is what makes this sword special, is it's not just a kind of a chopping motion with the arms, but when we chop down, we're pushing forward with the right hand and kind of pulling with the left hand. And that cutting motion is what makes the sword kind of so powerful, right? It's not just a chop, but it's a slice by having both hands move together. Yeah, so if we draw it up a little bit like this, when you bring it down, you have your left hand pull back a little bit and your right hand cut forward, just like that. And it's a movement that takes a lot of practice to get it right, but the result is you have a much more powerful cut. And then you're putting your whole body into what you're doing, not just your arms, right? But the more of the body we can use behind every technique, the healthier it's going to be for our whole body.
Okay, so how's it looking? Is this?
So far, that's good. Yeah, now we're just getting started, right? With a little more practice. Just keep pulling back with that left hand and slice forward with the right. Now, this is difficult to practice at home because we don't have swords laying around and we don't want to be swinging them around all the time, right? But what's important to remember is that action of pushing with one hand and pulling with the other. Now, there is a practical tool you can use at home, especially kids if you're watching. You can use this tool at home to get in as much practice as you want, and Mom and Dad will appreciate it. I brought a couple of them in today.
Yes, show us. I love this. My boys are going to get one.
Everyone has one of these at home. So this is a standard broom. And if you use it the same way, you're also practicing your sword technique because we've got one hand on top and we've got a space and the other hand underneath. So if you can do this at home, go grab one, maybe help Dad out and go sweep the garage by having this pull motion with the right hand and push motion with the left hand. And after you do this 1,000 times, your sword technique is going to get better and better.
1,000 times.
So we always say 1,000 times, but it's a practical way to work on those techniques at home and still help out Mom and Dad as well.
Well, you know I'll be showing this segment to the kids now for sure.
I definitely hope so. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for joining and good luck, and we can't wait to have you back to hear how the event went.
Thank you very much.
Excellent.